the potential of our kids is unlimited. And it's our job as a school to create spaces and opportunities for them to discover it and develop it.
Mic check.
I'm good.
Mic check. Mic check.
You can read about success all day long, but if you don't put in the work, the mindset, execution, and the hustle behind your vision, it just remains a dream.
When everything goes wrong, you have to take all the responsibility.
We uncover what high-level entrepreneurs, business owners do to rise up from hustling daily.
So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances.
The world becomes your library to help you to become better at your craft.
Join me as I share with you actionable tips to help you grow your business, learn skills, and help you level up in your self-development journey.
Your number one spot for business and personal growth is the Online Hustlers Podcast with your host, Esteban Andrade.
Every day I'm hustling.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to the podcast here at Online Hustlers. Today, we have two special guests. They're 2 out of 3 sisters. They live in Colombia. They're part of this new revolution that is going on of non-traditional education system that South America is... They're trying to do in South America. They started in Colombia, the city of Cartagena. If you haven't been to Cartagena, you must 100% go. It's kind of like you take Europe, you take Miami, they have babies, and they have Cartagena. So that's exactly how it looks like. But these two women here, super young. So they are actually doing super different stuff. Like they are doing something that really inspires me because we help a lot of people with remotelatinos.com. Obviously, we work with entrepreneurs all the time. You guys have families, you guys have kids, and you guys want them to grow with kind of like the proper education, the proper context that they need in order to be successful in life and not just get stuck in the 9 to 5, in the office type of job. They can't really, they're limited to what the society gives them. Because I think that traditional education is actually a scam in the terms that, well, it's basically controlled by the government and by huge institutions that want soldiers to go and then graduate and then work for their huge companies. And then basically they create like a machine of soldiers. But what if you can make the world 1% better? All right, so guys, today we have the Carvajalinos Sisters. Thank you for coming. And I love that you guys are here. You guys live in Cartagena. Actually, you guys live in Bogota or Cartagena?
Cartagena. But our office is Bogota, so we go back and forth.
Okay.
Canon lives in Bogota.
Okay. So you guys have essentially like headquarters in Bogota and Cartagena. You guys have 3 schools right now, entrepreneurship level schools, where it's not traditional education. But before, it was not like that, right? Like your parents essentially started a school, but it wasn't always like it. Am I correct?
We'll tell you a story.
Okay. What's
There's
the
a story behind, but first of all, thank you for having us. We love being here and sharing, a little bit about our story. So I'll tell you, my mom started the school when she was 17, probably 18 years old. And then she meets my dad. My dad, he says his job has been a visionary, like a business person. So they mix what they, education and business, and then they come up with a school for us, like for us daughters. And we started a business selling chocolates when we were 6, 7, and 8 years old. So my parents always wanted a school that wasn't a scam. Mm-hmm. They wanted a school where they could teach us how to, dream, how to do business, but especially how to develop our creativity, critical thinking, everything that right now is going to make us different from robots. So they didn't really have it the exact way, but they always had that idea of raising us in a very different way. And then when I get involved with the school, that's like kind of my job. Like, how can we make kids have a different type of education? But they actually always had that different mindset of raising us in a different way.
Right. So I believe that you become part of the environment that you actually are born in. That's why when the kids are born in rich societies or rich families, rich will get richer and the poor people will keep being poor or get poorer, right? So what are you guys trying to do here for all these people that are, obviously you guys have 3 schools, you guys kind of cover the entire population of Cartagena, but you guys are doing something. So what are you guys trying to accomplish here overall? And like, is it at the pace that you guys going? How fast have you guys gone through this? I'd love to know.
So, I mean, we started, because there's 2 things that we need to take into account in this story. So my mom started the school, right? She started the school, and every time that someone asks me about my entrepreneurship story, I'm like, dude, you need to learn my mom's story and then everything will make sense. Like, she comes from a very little town in Cartagena, like close to Cartagena. She decides to start the school, and then she started a preschool, and then she opened 1st grade and 2nd grade and 3rd grade, blah, blah, blah. And then she starts like opening whatever the school is today. So we started there. We have the students, they learn about entrepreneurship, but like you say, we were thinking about how can we get to other people. So we don't only do the school, but we have always been very into social impact and how we can scale our impact. So what we do is that we created another company that it's called the Beast Nation. So the Beast Nation, we basically have courses where people can learn skills that they can use to generate income. So we have that as a business, but we also create social programs for free in Cartagena so we can get to all that population that cannot come to the school because the school is a private school, normal K-12. Beast Nation, it's more like for corporates, but we mix like both to be able to give like programs for free for young people, women, a lot of young women who are moms, very, very young, to teach them skills to just generate income. So we started in Cartagena, but now we have projects in Cartagena, we have projects in Puerto Rico, we have projects in Dominican Republic, El Salvador, next Mexico. We're just like trying to grow as much as we can, like generate the biggest impact that we can.
So you guys are creating like a freemium model essentially where you guys are giving people access to a level of education that generates them skills. What type of skills can they learn?
They can learn everything from digital marketing that they can like literally learn and start applying, all the way to public speaking, communication, I don't know, like 21st century skills that they can use and put into action and see like, not like, oh, I'm going to learn this for 5 years and then at some point I'm going to be able to use it or it's too obsolete to be able to use it, but skills that they can use right away.
Okay. And you guys have it in a platform? Is it like in-person education, online? How is that?
So we partnered up with big corporations. And what we do is that we do the program between the 2 of us. And we do like a super cool kickoff where people get excited and because the biggest problem is the mindset. Like if you come to someone and you tell them, hey, here's a course so you can learn about marketing and you're going to be able to be successful. They're going to be like, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
So first you need to change the mindset. In the school, we're also super, super huge in mindset. Like we learn a lot about neuro-linguistic programming, learning behaviors, learning styles and everything because it's all about the mindset. So we partner up with big corporations. We do a kickoff event and then they learn virtual. But I think we need to clarify because she's going one step forward, but we need to go like one step behind. Beast Nation. So we're talking about the school. The school is a K-12 school, but then we also have another company that is called the Beast Nation. And in the Beast Nation, what we do is that we offer online courses to corporations so they can train their people in digital marketing, in technology, in soft skills. So that company is the one that has social programs, like social impact projects that are the ones that she's talking about. So the business itself, they're not social programs. So you were talking about freemium. We really are more of a social enterprise. So we have, normal clients, the business operates, but then we have that other part that help us take that same type of programs, but to other people that, wouldn't necessarily get it.
Okay. So what do you think that is lacking on kids right now in regular education? What are the few things that they lack?
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that question because I always say that the educational system is very criminal in different ways. Because kids go to school and when they graduate, they're more frustrated, they're less creative, and they do not really know what to do. So in my opinion, going to school, you spend more time Literally, you spend more time in school that you spend with your parents. That to me is crazy. So you're 13 years going to school all day long, and then you learn how to memorize formulas. Like, that doesn't make sense. So first of all is teaching the wrong skills. So teaching people how to memorize, teaching kids, how to know things that they don't even know when are they going to apply. But the true things that they need to learn, that in my opinion right now, is creativity, critical thinking, communication, and collaboration. That we were talking about ChatGPT just, a little bit ago. And those are the skills that are going to make, one person different than a robot and then AI. So the school doesn't teach you that. And the reason why that happens is because it's always been like that. And people think that, things, everything changes. But education, if you go to a room today, like a classroom today, it would look exactly like it looked 100 years ago. And that doesn't make sense. So changing the focus is one thing. Changing the methodology is another thing, that we're still using the same methodologies they were using, 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years ago. And then third, the subjects that we learn, they're crucial. Like, the curriculums that nowadays, they don't teach entrepreneurship. They don't teach financial education, for example. You learn about credit cards and mortgages and how to buy houses and all of that. When you graduate from school, then you go to college. They don't teach you that in college either. And then you learn the bad way. And that's when you're, okay, this is how life works. So entrepreneurship, financial education, mental health, like all of these things, nutrition, like you don't learn this in school. So I think changing the curriculum, that's one thing that we did. And that it was really hard because you still have to be, you need to teach math, science, chemistry, all of that. But at the same time, you need to teach all of these other things. So we came up with a methodology that allows us to teach these subjects, but also while you're learning math, learning social and emotional skills. While you're learning science, you're still learning, other things. So that's kind of an answer for your question.
Yeah, I love it. When do you think that, because you mentioned 100 years and 20 years, when do you think that education stopped growing or stopped evolving?
I think it's never evolved in a way. Like if you go to a classroom where, teachers are teaching, the cell, you would learn mostly the same way. And this is not everywhere. I don't like saying, 100% of schools, because there are many schools that are doing a tremendous job, and that is great, but it's not the norm. Like, it's not normal. So I think that the process of evolving, I don't think there's been one. I think it's very, just the same it's always been. Minor changes here and there, but yeah, not big changes.
So how long ago do you think that it stopped? Like, it's not growing anymore?
Hard question.
Maybe the 1990s, maybe 2000s, early 2000s, where...
No, I think it goes literally 100 years ago. I wasn't even in the picture, but it's just the same ways. And I have dedicated a lot of time to studying, how education was before, how it is now, and it's basically the same.
Okay. Yeah, so basically what happened 100 years ago? That was 2000, sorry. Well, if you were to do 1923,
yep.
Right? That was like right after World War, where they were like, oh my God, we just had a war and we need to learn new things, because otherwise we're going to go into another war, or the things that we learned from the war, which medicine advance, technology, all of that, we went through that. And then now I don't see the reason why people, continuously evolving their traditional education, other than maybe if you would do a self-education. Like, if most people, for example, me, I self-educated myself. Like, that's redundant, but I did self-education. I went into YouTube. I paid courses. I paid mentors. I paid hundreds of thousands of dollars so far, more than school, and made millions already by literally self-education and reinvesting myself. But you guys want to give the opportunity for people to see, for kids, little kids, to see that, hey, you can do it from the very early stages, like super early. I believe that kids are entrepreneurs when they are born.
They are like...
When they're kids.
Amazing. I always say that for our school, our slogan is the potential of our kids is unlimited. And it's our job as a school to create spaces and opportunities for them to discover it and develop it. That's our slogan. Like, dude, your kid is amazing. Like yesterday, I was in an event that we do that it's called Beast Camp. And I was with the kids. It's about entrepreneurship, creating businesses, like what we do in the school, but like in a short version, in a camp. And the parents were there. And I was like, you need to step out and leave the kids do everything. Like they were trying to, no, do this like this. I'm like, no, just leave them. No, but they're not going to know. And they were like giving all these, we give them like a prompt and they have to solve and create a product and a prototype. And they were like killing it. And I was like, just move. Like,
parents, you're doing a horrible job.
Yeah, it's like, just move. And they, at the end, they were like, okay, we're just sitting here and waiting. And they were super impressed, like, oh my God, they did this. Oh my God, and they created that. And they put prices on where you can buy it and everything. So I think that kids have unlimited potential. They have like an entrepreneurial spirit. But schools, that's our job. Create spaces. Like we do it from different places, from changing the curriculum. That's a way of like, here, you're going to learn about, financial intelligence. You're going to learn about businesses. But not only that, but also our infrastructure, like in the school. We have been working a lot to create like obstacles so you can learn about risks, how to take, action, how to take decisions. And like we have horses in the school. We have all these different kind of stuff, like the rooms. All the rooms.
You said a horse?
Horses.
Okay.
Yes. I will talk about that later. But like for the rooms, for example, all our rooms, like the classrooms, they have a patio for hands-on experience. Like you're learning here inside, but go outside and put like everything into action. So that's basically what we're always looking. How can we do we have a YouTuber. So we have like the clubs and we have a YouTuber club. And the parents were crazy at the beginning because of course, the kids come to the parents and are like, I want to be a YouTuber. And they're like, no, that's not a profession. You need to be a doctor. You need to be a scientist, whatever. And we were like, who wants to join the YouTuber club? And they were like, what do you mean? You cannot have that club. I'm saying at home that you cannot be a YouTuber. And we were like, okay, here is it. But we were like, parents, they love to be YouTubers. There's a lot behind it. There's communication, there's researching, there's creating scripts, there's recording, there's putting lights, there's video editing. There's so many things that you learn and you can teach them while they are doing something that they like.
Let's go to a root cause of the problem. I think that parents are the ones that are really stopping, the first ones that are really stopping their kids to reach their highest potential.
And the worst part is that they do it with love.
Exactly. That's
they don't
what
do
I
it
was
on
going to
purpose.
say. Like no parent is saying like, oh my gosh, like I want to give my kid a terrible education. Like they do it with love and that's what they know. And that's what the system, like that's how the system works. For example,
how they were raised.
Yesterday we were talking about standardized testing and we were saying like, how are you going to measure like a kid's intelligence by a standardized test? But it's not only the test, the school cannot say, oh, we're not doing standardized testing because then you cannot go to college because you don't have a good test. And then the parent. So it's a system. They are part of a system. We're not talking about a school changing. We need the complete traditional education system to change because it's not the parent wanting bad for your child. Every parent loves their child. They want, the best for them. So they're not doing it out of like
on purpose. Yeah.
On purpose. Yeah. Exactly.
I think one of the first things is that you have to be able, you said mindset, working the mindset. But I think parents' mindset need to change first in order to allow their kids to even give them the opportunity to do all these weird things in their eyes. Because it's weird to go into school and learn how to be a YouTuber for a regular parent.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's weird.
And also the focus. Like kids are already part of this system. Like they see YouTube channels, they see it. So it's better if you teach them how to do it correct. Like for example, in our YouTuber club, you cannot talk about shootings and, killing people or video games where they kill people. Mm-hmm. You need to talk about something that is positive that you can give to the world. There's this book called Stolen Focus, and they talk about how crazy is the world nowadays with so many distractions and everything, but how you have good things in all of that. So it's better to teach them the good way to do things they're exposed to that already. They're exposed to social media. They're exposed to YouTube channels. So it's better to tell them, oh, this is the right way. This is the ethical way. This is something that you can use to share a powerful message. Like, for example, we're doing with this podcast.
Have you guys ever heard of MrBeast in YouTube? No, you haven't? Okay. So since you guys are in the Latin American and like, I'm pretty sure the algorithm wouldn't show it to you, but he has billions of views, billions. Like he is at the billionaire level. He literally turned down, I think it was like 100 million or a billion offer from someone because he makes so much money in YouTube. And what he does, he goes in YouTube and he shows like crazy footage, like in terms of not crazy bad, but like, for example, like building a burger in like the most crazy way, or like, I don't know, something that catches attention in different angles and production and things like that. Right. And he started that way just because he knows that people love the creativity that he provides, but now has millions of dollars. But he treats it as a business. And he always teaches that in YouTube, with YouTube, you can create money, you can create an income, you can create a stream of income, cash flow to reinvest back into it, create a team, ultimately make it like an actual corporation. And he makes hundreds of millions doing that. So you should have MrBeast go to your schools, guys.
Yeah, I know. We have a kid. We have, what's his name? Jose David. We have a kid, YouTuber, has millions of subscribers, and he does all his videos and he earns money. And the other day I was like, but where do they pay you? And he was like, he's so funny. He's like 12, 13. He's like, well, they pay me to my mom's account. But because I didn't want them to pay me to my dad's account. But then the sweetest part, and I think this is what Daniela was saying, like, it's not, yes, you just be a YouTuber for being a YouTuber. Like, let's use that as a vehicle to teach them a lot of more things. He was like, and I was like, and what are you doing with that money? And he was like, well, I used first one part to buy these sneakers that I wanted like long time ago. But then I'm using this other part to give it to this nonprofit for kids to be able to have the things that I had and they were not able to have. And I was like, I love you. That was so sweet. So I think that's super, super cool. What Danny was saying, it's very, very important. And this is just to say like YouTuber, but we have the kids that are like in the robotics class. And then there's one student that he doesn't have like half of his arm. And then the other kids in the robotics class, they not the teacher, not the other student, the kids, they decided to create prostheses, como
prosthetic arm.
They decided to create it for his friend because he didn't have one.
Okay.
And I was like, I freaking love you.
That's freaking amazing, right?
It is freaking amazing. I was like, you are amazing. I have this other kid that he did a metaverse course.
Oh.
He's 8. And he was like, oh yeah, I told him like this. I was like, Tiago, you're going to do the metaverse course? And he was like, Miss. They call me Miss. I'm not Miss of anything, but they call me Miss. And she's like, Miss, it's not metaverse course. It's Web 3.0 because metaverse is just one part of the web. And I was like, oh, sorry, my bad. I'm so sorry. So there's so many stories of this that every time that you listen to them, you're like, we're doing something good and we need to do more of this.
How many people do you guys have so far in the schools?
We have, in El Cartagena International School, we have 850.
Yeah, like almost 900 right now.
900 people?
900.
You guys have 900 people, like 900 kids, right? From what age?
Kids.
From what age?
They're all ages, so 2-year-old till they graduate, like 16, 17. So
don't let me start talking about the kids of preschool that sell lemonade. And like, they're like, hey, do you want to buy me the lemonade? And I was like, just give me all of them. They're so cute.
So you guys are teaching them also sales skills? How to
everything. Yeah. They learn from sales, marketing, creating a product, how to cost, like how much it costs, how much I'm going to pricing. Like they learn. We developed a curriculum, K-12, like a class every week of entrepreneurship. And before you were asking like how are we also scaling it? So this curriculum, before we only had it in our school. But now there's other schools in Colombia and abroad that are using our curriculum to teach entrepreneurship in their classes. Because in 2006, we helped to pass the law in Colombia. There's a law that says that you need to teach entrepreneurship. You have to. It's a law. You need to teach entrepreneurship in schools and universities. And we helped to pass that law. The thing is like most of schools and universities, they don't know how to do it. So now we develop a curriculum and other schools are being
so anybody can use it. So if not Cartagena International School, any school can use it.
Okay, great. So do you guys have even people flying outside of the country to go and live in Cartagena and then have put their kids in there? Or?
Well, actually, we get these messages all the time, like, oh my God, when are you opening this school here? When are you opening this school there?
Miami.
But it's hard. I mean, it's hard. So that's why we came up with the curriculum. So we don't have to build physical schools. But the magic is not the school. The walls, they're not the magic. It's what you're teaching the kids. So that's the best way that we found to have our curriculum, like she said, in Puerto Rico, in El Salvador, like in other countries, without having us and without having, you know, our physical building, like the magic.
So you guys are basically licensing the curriculum that you guys have and the business model for other schools to actually use.
Exactly.
Training, this is the most important part. Training the teachers.
That's it. That's everything.
Training the teachers, because it was very hard at the beginning in our school, because all our teachers were coming from the system, like from a very traditional system. So when you tell them like, hey, no, we need to find a way to mix in all these like culture of entrepreneurship in every class, it wasn't easy. Like, but now you see them, like, for example, the Spanish teacher, that he was super traditional, like a Spanish teacher. Now he organizes the international public speaking contest, and he's like into the thing, and he does like the marketing and the kids, and he got involved in the thing. So teacher training, it's key, because you could have a curriculum, but if the teachers are not into it,
right,
they have to buy the idea first.
100%. So what's the name of that program? Scaling with kids and entrepreneurs, or scaling with preschools? Like what's the name of that program that you offer to other schools?
It's just a curriculum. Like you buy a curriculum, like an English curriculum. It's like here we mentioned it very cool and easy. Like this is the program. No, but it has like all the educational methodology, like everything that a school requires to implement a curriculum. There's a long like list of things behind it. We had to do that. Like we did the cool part, but we also did like how you can actually adapt it to your actual curriculum, number of classes, number of...
So how do people get to know you guys? As Cartagenas, so they get to know
right now
you?
it's like just Cartagena International.
What do you mean? What's the question?
So if you were to put a name into this program that you help other schools, where you put your license, your curriculum.
Okay, it's called Biz Lab. That's what you're talking about, the curriculum? Yeah.
Okay, so Biz Lab helps other schools scale their non-traditional education system.
Exactly. And we help them with everything. Like she was saying, this is not only entrepreneurship. It's, for example, math. Kids hate math. And we've made it, she used to hate math. But we've made it in a way that kids can love it. Like you can learn magic, like math with magic. And then they have to design with magic. It's so cool. Like literally they do magic tricks. And to do the magic tricks, they need to learn how to like add, multiply, divide. So
do
they
you know
practice.
A magic trick here?
No, and I was never able to do it because it was very complicated. Because you do like, give me blah, blah, blah. And then you need to like sumar and add and whatever. And then you give the number.
But kids get super interested.
They get super excited and super like...
Or they have to design a game. That's like the main project of that class is designing a game. So they work like almost 6 months to design this, come up with this game. But they have to use whatever they're studying. So... Again, like you have to divide or do things or whatever. So
we're counting money. We did a contest once. We gave them like $5,000, but like in $1, $5, $20s, blah, 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 like a lot of like coins and everything. And it seems super easy. All of them were like, oh yes, we know how to count money, blah, blah, blah. And we will put them like on the spot with a timer. You have 30 seconds to count the $5,000. All of them will get them wrong. Like all of them. And you will start seeing like some of them will pile up the like 20s, 5, blah, blah, blah. Others will like start writing. Others like they all have like different techniques and stuff like that. And it was crazy. But it's also like different ways of them learning. But learning like real life skills, like with real life scenarios, if that makes sense.
That's so cool. So when you guys took over your parents' company, the parents' school, what was it like? And how do you guys put in your curriculum? How do you guys build it? What was the first steps?
Well, first of all, I think we've always been kind of involved since we graduated. So we've always been on the board, and
we were in school.
Even since we were in school. So it's always been part of it. But I think our mission goes more than that. Our mission was, how do we get what is done here outside of the school? And that's what we've done best. We also grew the school. I mean, in number of students, it wasn't always 100 students. So it's growing a lot. But I think our true mission is how do we take this to the world and not just to Cartagena.
Okay. Do you guys think that you guys, apart from having physical and also licensing, have a digital platform to really have people access? Let's say, have you guys, I don't want to bring in competition, but have you guys heard of Platzi?
Yeah, of course. They're friends.
They're friends? Okay, got it. But essentially, like, I purchased Platzi for my entire team. And they have a lot of good stuff from different mentors, actually.
Yeah.
But I feel like what you guys have, which have physical locations, you guys do licensing. Now you guys are bringing it to Miami, right? Or trying to bring it to Miami?
Yes.
Okay.
It's coming up soon.
What about the digital?
So we have the digital, so that's Biz Nation. That's why I wanted to clarify, because they're two very different worlds.
Yeah.
The school world is literally kids, but in Biz Nation, we only work with adults. So people that want to learn, different skills, especially leadership skills, public speaking skills, sales skills, innovation. So that's why we work with companies and people from.
So the thing is, like, Biz Nation, how it started is that we were like all these kids that wanted like this type of education. We were very like B2C. Like, you wanted to take a course. Right now we have 250 courses in different like aspects, right? But we have always been very, very big in education, methodologies and stuff like that. So what we decided to do, and what we do now, is that we bring experts. So you're an expert in marketing, you're an expert in sales, you're an expert in leadership, you're an expert in innovation, right? So you come to us and we're experts in how to teach. So the biggest problem of any online learning platform is that out of 100 people that start, only 4 people actually finish a course, right? But we are always like, how can we increase those completion rates? How can we increase that by using learning styles? So all our courses need to have visual parts, auditive, experiential. We need to use storytelling. We need to use NLP techniques to like help them finish the courses, right? So we bring the expert. We have a whole content team. We mix them and we create a course. And we have all these courses in our platform. But now we change the model and we are like B2B. So we work with big companies. We are in 9 countries right now, but we also work with small companies. So you want to train your team, you could get from all our courses and you can create tracks. So you want to train all your team, but not in like everything. You want to train some of them in customer service. You want to train some of them in technology. You want to train some of them in sales. You can pick tracks out of all our courses and just like have them get trained and certified. And in Colombia, we're certified by the Ministry of Education. Not all of platforms have that. I don't think any of them have that. So we can actually certify you as for jobs or whatever.
As someone that you can put in the resume, in the CV. That's what you mean, right?
Yes.
But at the end of the day, resumes right nowadays is worthless.
Yeah.
But that's exciting for people. Like, mentally, this is why we work a lot with the mind, and people just have this certification. It's a whole nother kind of motivation that, okay, yes, I just finished this, watching this YouTube course, right?
Yeah, because they're going to have it in paper. It's going to be more of like, look at me.
I got this. It's more like a motivation technique. It's more like a motivation technique.
A lot because the 5-year, track university normal, like the way we know it, that's not going to be a thing. I don't want to say in 10 years, but I think it's coming up very soon.
Yeah.
That's not a thing anymore.
Now, what used to be the top 4% of the population, now it's going to get a little bit more like top 10 maybe at some point. Like, that's your mission.
Yes.
Right? Like, you want to add 1% every year of people that can get the entrepreneur education, business education. But I want to ask you guys something. I want to know what you guys think about this. So a lot of people actually, they relate entrepreneurship with having a business. In my opinion, 2 different skill sets. So you can be an entrepreneur and you can work inside another business. Now you become an entrepreneur. Or you can be an entrepreneur, you have great ideas, and you can build a business, a profitable running business. So how do you guys differentiate and how do you guys guide your people towards the best path of success? Because like running a business is freaking hard. especially like super hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good point that you're bringing up, because also people think that we teach that at the school because we want all of our kids to own businesses, and that's not really what we want. The first reason why we teach entrepreneurship is to develop those skills that I was just telling you and complaining that the traditional educational system doesn't teach. But that's hard to teach. Like, okay, let's put in the word creativity. This is creativity. Yep. This is that. So this is a methodology to like develop those skills. It's not that we want every kid. Actually, our kids, most of them are business owners, but a lot of them have very professional, successful professional careers. So two very different things. Learning the skills. So that's what I get. Like, learn this so you have the skills that you will need, whether you're going to be a, good CEO or whether you're going to work as a scientist or whatever you're going to be. So it's not owning a business. I wouldn't say, entrepreneurship equals just owning a business.
I just think it's like the vehicle that we found. Like, for example, some people like through sports, they learn discipline and blah, 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 blah. So for us, entrepreneurship is the vehicle. I also think that in Spanish, it makes more sense, the word, because in Spanish is emprender. So it's like start something, right? Mm-hmm. So we also take it from there. Like entrepreneurship, it's like that como spark that you have inside to be able to start something. We actually have a definition in the school that all the kids learn. It's like, you know it, I know it. But it's like entrepreneurship, it's the ability to investigate something, like put it into action and have it like exist for a long time. That's a really bad translation of the definition.
Say it in Spanish one sec.
Say it at the same time. Un emprendedor es una persona creativa, innovadora.
Que tiene la capacidad de crear una idea y ponerla en acción de manera constante y durar en el tiempo.
You have to say it with the Cartagena accent?
Yes, of course. Because if not, it doesn't have the same vibe, Pero yes, that's what it's not only creating businesses, it's having an idea, put it into action.
To me, it's that. Create an idea, put it into action. That's what to me is entrepreneurship.
Investigate first.
Yeah, but I mean the short version. Create an idea, put it into action.
Oh, that's so awesome. So what's the plan here in Miami?
Go party. No, just kidding.
Aside from party. So the plan is expanding, what we've done.
You guys don't look like party people, by the way. You guys look like straight business.
We are business people.
We have two sides. We have two sides.
We like partying, but we like business. Mm-hmm. We like having fun, work hard, play hard.
Bueno, Daniela, what are the plans?
But the plans in Miami. So we are expanding, our school here to Miami. That's very, very exciting. She's working and expanding Business Nation here to the US as well. So, I mean.
Two separate?
Okay. Yeah, because it's two things. I always tell people, like, we're obsessed with transforming education from every single, like, part of your life. Like, with the schools, we do it from K to 12. But you're going to leave school at some point. And then with the Beast Nation, we do it after. No, with the Beast Lab, we do it after, like with the youngsters and young professionals. And then with the Beast Nation, we do it more like in the professional part. So it's like we're obsessed with education, basically.
Yeah.
In every aspect.
Okay. So I want you guys to tell me the honest truth of like what you guys think. Do you think that everyone can be an entrepreneur? Do you really think that everyone has what it takes, characteristics to?
But again, we're talking about a business owner.
Entrepreneur.
I think everybody can be an entrepreneur. I think not everybody can be a business owner.
Yes. Retweet.
Retweet. Elon Musk, if you're watching, they gave you a shout out. Retweet.
No, being a business owner is hard. You say it, and we say it all the time. We don't want to picture this like, oh my God, this is a perfect life. Like, I'm going to quit my 8-to-5 job, so I'm going to be my own boss. Like, that's not how it works. But if I had to choose being a business owner 100 times, I'll do it like 300, Like, I really like and enjoy this. I think this is the path that I want to follow for my whole life. But people need to know that this is not just easy, perfect, so much fun. Like, you're going to have to put effort. You're going to have to put time. Like, it's a big deal. But if you're willing to like pay the price, then, go for it.
What are the qualities of the most successful people that you guys met or have you guys created in school those qualities are so consistent that every single successful person has?
I would say one, but I mean, you can go first if you want.
No, you're only going to say one. I have a look.
No, I mean, there's many things that people need to have, but I find in successful people that I've met, discipline is key. Like, there's very brilliant people, there's creative people, there's people that put things into action, but I think it's discipline. Like, discipline is what made a difference in the life of these people. You have this wonderful idea, and this happened a lot with entrepreneurs. Like, they have this amazing idea today, tomorrow they have another one, and then the day after tomorrow they have another one. Or when you see that things are not the way you want it, there's like, oh, it's time to quit, maybe I go the other way. Or you wake up today, for example, I'm giving your example, Sunday, maybe you want it to be, just sleeping or going out to brunch, but you're here, recording your podcast, doing the things that you have to do, even when you don't want to do it. And that's something that
you do want to do this podcast with us.
Of course,
kinda
it's the
debating.
best Sunday. But yeah, to me, it's discipline.
It's spicy information. Maybe I want to keep it by myself. No, I'm kidding. Everyone will have this.
Of course. Yes, no, I totally agree. Discipline 100%. Like, I think it's like a muscle. Discipline is a muscle, and you need to work on it every single freaking day. I always say that Dani and Karen, other sister, Karen, I feel that they're very disciplined. This is something that it's very hard for me, but I work a lot into that. Just like motivation, inspiration. But motivation is like the complement. Like, motivation is what give you like the thing to start, but that's gonna go away like 2 days after, a week after, whenever things get hard. Resilient. I know it's very cliche. You need to be resilient, but it's true. One day I told someone, like, all these things that you hear like cliche, that you hear them a lot. Yes, they sound like cliche, but like, if you hear them a lot, it's because they are true. Like, people are applying it. They're true, they're happening, and that's what they have used in their lives. So don't ignore them just because they sound cliche. Just try to listen to them in another way. But yes, discipline for me, it's
I have two more. So discipline. The second one, I would say focus. Being able to focus in something and like achieving, like, go for it until you finally have that, especially in a world where you have so many distractions. I think that's key. And then the third, that in my opinion is the most important skill in the 21st century, is learning how to learn. Like, right now you have this set of skills, but tomorrow you're going to need a different set of skills. So it's not learning a specific skill, but learning how to learn. Like,
ChatGPT.
literally, like ChatGPT, but for humans. That's what I look for in people that work in my company. That's what I look for in my friends. That, like, learning to learn, to me, like, it's everything. So that's like my number 3 top skills.
Number 3 for you too?
Bueno, I would say, no, discipline for sure. It has to be the same one. I just think also como looking at things from another perspective. Like, there's always the coin always have two sides. So a lot of people, they just get into, this is not working, blah, blah, blah. Just try always to find like another way. So just try to bring up things from another perspective. We're talking about skill sets for business.
Do you like my skills?
No, I really like them.
with mine.
Yeah,
I really
kind of
like
like take a step back, see what's going on.
Yes.
Why is it not working? But you know that it's the right way. Like, it's worked for other people. Maybe you need to go around it.
Yes.
Right? Or you need to go on top. Or you need to like find someone else that knows how it works, that is getting you stuck instead of quitting.
Oh, that's a good one. This is a good one. Ego doesn't exist for entrepreneurs or business owners. Like, the other day I was talking with this guy, he works with us, and he was like, oh yeah, blah, 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 I'm never going to talk to that lady. She was so rude. And I was like, no. You're going to, whatever you're saying, stop thinking about that. And you're going to call her. You're going to be like, hey, whatever. I always say, you're going to act crazy. Like, just finge demencia and keep going and talk to them. But if you have like ego, like, oh, I'm never going to talk to these people. There's so many people that have said no in our faces, or that have laughed, or that have never believed in whatever we want to do or say or whatever. And after a while, when we do everything that we said, they come back. And you cannot be like, oh yes, I'm not going to talk to you now because I'm super cool, blah, blah, blah. No, it's like, whatever, come on, jump in and just let's make this bigger. So I also think that not having that ego, it's super, super important. Just like, whatever, como I see, keep going, come back again. And if they want to now be part of it, be part of it in other conditions, but be part of it. I think that's important too.
Huge. Do you guys feel like there is something that right now you could be doing so much better that maybe like you haven't really gotten there, but you know you're gonna keep doing in order to like impact more people, in order to like actually get there?
Or you're talking about the business, about us, like as people, like what? What was your question?
Let's talk about. Do you feel like right now the things that you've been doing with the school and helping kids, and now bringing in like everything in Miami and also Biz Nation, you want to bring in the US, but like, do you feel like there's something like what's in there? What's next? What's kind of lacking right now from you guys so that you guys get to your purpose?
I think that we could be doing a better job, or that we are actually, this is one of the things that we're working this year and that I actually recommend to all entrepreneurs to truly do it, is empowering other leaders so that your mission can grow faster. So that's the number one goal of both companies this year. Finding this, well, we actually have some great people, like a great team, but we need to empower them more so they can grow this vision together with us. And that takes time.
How do you empower them?
So with your time. So sometimes you're so caught up in the like day to day.
Got hit.
Sorry, go. I'll continue with my wisdom.
You get so caught up by the day to day.
No, but actually you get caught up by the day to day. So you're trying to solve, all the problems, all the issues, you keep going, but you don't take enough time to sit with your leaders and teach them your ways, or even learn from them. Like have time. I'm blocking time in my agenda to work with my leaders more. I mean, we have leaders meeting here and there, but we're creating this amazing, very powerful program to empower these leaders. But the main component is not money, it's not them having them train and learn somewhere. It's literally our time. Having time one-on-one, work with them, share the vision, listen, like that's very important.
Mm-hmm. This is huge. Where do you guys learn English?
On the streets.
Because
in the streets?
School.
No, in school.
You'll be
In
like,
Cartagena International School.
So you learn in the streets, be like, hey, can I have an empanada, man?
Yeah, just kind of like that. Just kidding, in school.
In school. But like, it's really good. And you guys never
That's
lived
not
in
what
the
my
US.
friends say.
You guys never lived in the US, right?
We
Yep.
live in the US for
We went to
5
college
years.
here.
5 years.
We went to college in Atlanta.
In Atlanta. Okay, got it. I've met a lot of people by recruiting and getting candidates from remotelatinos.com. I've met a lot of them. They've never been in the US and their English is like impeccable.
Yeah.
And I met like not only Colombians, but like people, for example, in Central America. There's people in Salvador. There's people in like Guatemala, Nicaragua. They have like an impeccable English. They've never really been in the US. But I feel that right now the English education in Colombia is not at the point where it should be,
Not at
or
all.
other countries in Latin America are.
Not at all. And it should be. I always tell everybody. And that's why we are super strong that also in the school. Like we have a lot of international teachers and we're always like bringing international people, because we are like, if you want to be part of the world right now, we don't know if in 10 years, 20 years, whatever, but right now you need to know English. Like you need to know all these skill sets, but you need to know English for sure. And there's so much that needs
I
to be
agree.
done.
So you guys don't do, it's not bilingual. Is it like Spanish only, but you have some
No,
classes?
it is bilingual.
No, it's bilingual.
It's bilingual?
It's bilingual, and we have like international teachers in every level.
And we also include that in our social programs.
And we
So
have
for example, the kids from the school that is nearby, they come and they learn programming, they learn English, and they learn social emotional skills.
Which classes are in English?
Half of them, like English,
Social studies, math,
like
science,
English, science, social studies. Half of them.
Half of them.
entrepreneurship. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, because I feel like Colombians could have such a better level of English as an average. and like there's opportunity to not only create great businesses but also work for great businesses in the United States.
World.
Being part of the world, right? They're missing out on a lot of that. However, there's still like a huge opportunity for US based companies to come in and check out the talent. Like, look at you girls, you guys are brilliant. And in my opinion, like there's a lot of people in our countries that are super smart. And I don't know if like maybe Americans like don't know or they're clueless. Because I just figured out that only about less than 40% of people in the US have passports. So that means that will never, ever leave the US or go to another country and see another culture. So like they will think like maybe in Colombia, there will be like a jungle or like...
Dude, I went to Atlanta. I studied in the South. So I had all these friends that never had a passport that they were like, oh, where is Colombia? I'm like...
And they also didn't go to geography class.
Oh, yeah, I know, right. Sometimes people will be like, is that close to Pakistan? I'm like, no, it's not.
God.
Like, dude, it's Colombia. It's not like I'm saying like Sri Lanka, maybe, no, it's Colombia. But yeah, that's true. Like, for example, I have a lot of friends. Like when I went to college here, I had like my international friends and then I have my American friends. And most of them, we did like an social entrepreneurship trip to Guatemala. 80% of them didn't have passport. We took a class on, I was like, can I skip this class, please? Like I was born and the next day I had a passport. But they were like, we took this class of how to pack, and I remember the professor saying, you cannot put the passport in the main suitcase. You have to have it with you. I was like, it's a reality. They live in and I asked them, I was like, why you don't have a passport? And he was like, I have everything here. Why would I want to go somewhere else? Like, why? They live it like in a bubble. So
I guess it does make sense. It's a huge country, 50 plus states that, different
variety and everything.
Variety of diversity of whatever. I guess it makes sense. However, I feel like us in Colombia, we want to like explore. We want to go travel. I don't know. Like obviously a lot of people can't do that because they don't have the economic means, but if Americans ever like get to travel to South America, if they ever get to travel to Central America, even to Asia, they'll see that we are not like this jungle boys, jungle girls, that and then we can help their business grow. We can help the entire economy be better in a remote. Like, do you guys help your students get maybe jobs remotely? After graduation or something like that.
Listen, everybody right now wants remote jobs. Like
it's the Colombian dream. You facturas in dollars and spend in pesos.
Do you guys support it or not?
I support it. I 100% support it. And actually people that already graduated and they're like, we're all friends like with our students and like we graduated with some of them. So for example, from my class, 4 out of 7 of my best friends, they're all working remotely. And the 2 that are not, they're like, oh my God, I want to work remote.
Mm-hmm. And also generations change it a lot. Like now people, they just want to, generations have changed so much. I remember that before the goal was find a great job and do a career or make a career, however you say it in that company, like scale, right? Now I have talked to friends, like my friend, they offered him, hey, you want to be director of this like department? And he decided to not take the director position that will pay him more because he will have to go to the office twice a week. So he will not be able to work remotely. Now working whatever position he is, he will earn a little bit less, but he doesn't have to go to the office. So people are also like valuing a lot of like different stuff more than just money, like emotional salario.
Emotional salary?
Yes.
Emotional income?
Yes.
And also time.
Yeah.
Like time it takes.
Time, flexibility, freedom.
Yeah.
Lifestyle also.
Yeah. To me, I try to achieve as an entrepreneur that I am 3 types of freedom. There is financial freedom, there's time freedom, and there's location freedom.
Yeah.
So far, I feel like I have figured out a little bit of like 2 out of 3. But even though running a business and like if you want to scale it and help a lot of people, it's going to consume your time. a lot of people think that you run a business and it's the 4-hour work week and that you just don't have to care about it. But the truth is that you need to keep being a leader. And a leader is a full-time job.
Oh, yeah.
It is a full-time thing. Like if you're posting and if you run a business and you're posting on social media all the time that you're at the beach and that you're like, you know, just not doing anything.
Chilling.
And everyone is like, what type of leadership are you portraying to your team that your team is showing or seeing that you're just like, I mean, yeah, you're the owner, but like if you're all the time doing it and not really putting in the leadership, a lot of newbie business owners and entrepreneurs, they get into business and they want to like get rich quick or get successful quick. They fall into that trap and then boom, they start hitting the downfall because the leadership is a consistent thing. And I see you guys being leaders, posting, you know, whenever you guys travel, whenever you guys have podcasts, whenever you guys have interviews, you guys are doing content to obviously bring in more eyeballs. You got how many followers you guys have as sisters?
So in all the accounts we have over 1 million.
We have like 350 here, 300,000 there.
like Danny's, mine, Karen, hermanas, over 1 million.
Okay. You guys going to all these podcasts, you guys going to, I saw you guys in a stadium? Was it a...
Oh, we have to talk about that,
Yes.
of course. Beast Fest.
That's something we're very
We
What was it?
packed, sold out the Movistar Arena with 14,000 kids.
What?
Talking about leadership and
14,000
entrepreneurship.
kids.
Biz Fest is called?
Beast Fest.
It's BizFest. And it's free for the kids.
Okay.
So we bring, you know, this very famous, I don't know, like singers, influencers, business people, like all these people are like this generation admire, looks up to, but they're not gonna sing. Well, actually, some of this sing. But the cool part is that they share their story. Like, this is how I got to where I am. It's not what you think. It's not easy. Like one of my favorites, he's a huge content creator. He has millions of followers. And he's like, I record a video today and you love it. Tomorrow, I'm recording another one. I record a video today and you don't like it. I'm recording another one. So you really want to be an influencer. This is not what you think it is. Like I record all this cool stuff. I work, I plan, I do all of these things. It was amazing. 14,000 people.
People don't see what happens in the behind the scenes. They always see the front scene. The front scene, which is essentially social media, which is almost in a perfect life for people. And that's why I guess parents judge YouTubers, judge TikTokers, judge Instagram influencers.
Parents or even big like CEOs.
Parents
They're
are
like,
peoples.
no, but even big CEOs. We have these programs that it's called corporate influencers, where we did with the Chamber of Commerce. We took all the big CEOs of like the big companies and we taught them about influencers, like how to be an influencer for your company, right? And at the beginning, they were like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of the program, they were like, oh my God, I didn't know this was so hard. Like I had a no social media policy in my company. And now I just hired a community manager and a department of marketing because communicating is very important. It's very hard. And I was like, I know it's not what you think.
Huge. Why do you think Elon is everywhere now? And he just purchased Twitter, right?
Yep.
He knows the power of it. Like you can literally influence more people on social media, have people have access to your value and make a lot of money, you know? Yeah. So you guys only bring famous people, influencers?
No. So let me tell you about Beast Fest. So we were like talking about scaling. We were like, we need to get to more people. We need to do a super cool event, but we're all about like making education cool and sexy, right? Como everyone thinks, oh, education, whatever. We're not. We're like,
Cool
you
and
want to
sexy.
be part
So
of
have to dress nice and have
You
a
have
good
to
body?
be, well, not that way, but like you want to be part of it. Because the big problem with all these like new generation is that you keep trying to do the same stuff and they are in another page, right? So we brought them 14,000 students for free. We can do just a podcast of all the things that went wrong behind the scenes and no one saw, or everyone only saw the perfect event with everyone.
You guys going crazy? Oh my God.
Oh my God. No, it was crazy. Like we brought everyone. So we didn't even, it was not only free, but we brought them like in school buses. And 2 months before the event, half or even like 70% of the sponsorships were gone. We didn't have money to bring the students. So we were like, dude, what are we going to do? And we were like, let's do what we know how to do best, solve problems.
So
and we created this campaign that it was called Sponsor a Bus. And we were like, maybe one of our friends will sponsor a bus, but everything adds at this point, everything adds. And we were like, okay, let's put it on social media and stuff like that. And we got like 300 buses sponsored by random people that we didn't know. And that day was when I realized, I was like, this is more than just Karen, Daniela, and Stephanie.
Yeah.
Like this is people being part of it. So we did that. We had 33 speakers, but I always say we had from like a huge influencer that it's like an entertainment influencer, like fun, comedy and stuff like that, all the way to like the president of the biggest association of companies in Colombia, that it's like a very, very serious guy. So we had in between, we had Catherine Ibargüen, that it's like an athlete, a Colombian athlete. We had Bele, that it's a singer.
Yeah.
We had so many influencers. We had so many people.
Business owners.
Business owners.
Huge.
Yep.
When is Esteban Andrade coming? Have you heard of him?
Yes. So we are having next year. Oh, no, this year. It's already
This
23. Put in your schedule. September 29 is the day that we have so far for BizFest.
For BizFest? That sounds really cool.
It is really cool.
Remote
You have to see the
Latinos
video.
would love to sponsor and speak, whatever. Actually, my partner is actually learning Spanish so that he can have like whatever conversation he wants to have it fluent in Spanish, but obviously he's American. And
Well, it would be perfect because it's 14,000 youth, 9th, 10th, and 11th grade, and first semesters of university. That we want to inspire them. Like, dude, you need to be doing something different. Look for other options. Like, look for options in the US. Go and learn English so you can take these jobs or create these jobs that everyone is talking about.
yeah, that's part of our dream, kind of create some sort of platform in order to bring in, not only help people with English skill sets that they can help them get a job or get a career in North America, because a lot of people literally have so much potential, but they earn like miserable money in Colombia by doing what they like, sure, but like it could be doing so much better and earning like really great skills like you guys are talking about. So Remote Latinos is going into the education, will provide education skill sets that are required in a real estate business, which is exactly what you guys actually talk about. So from sales to marketing to leadership to operations, social media, being able to hire, delegate, lead a team, all of this kind of stuff, real estate businesses actually need. And they do that because essentially almost every single business that runs a service is almost like the concept of like the foundation of it is almost the same. Maybe the model changes,
But it's the
prices
same,
change,
the
but it's the
basics.
same. So it's awesome to like just help people have plug and play skill sets that they can take in any industry, at any season, whether there is a recession or not, and you make them recession proof. So Remote Latinos wants to help.
Perfect. So we have the video, we have the evidence. Once we start calling you like, hey, BizFest is now, we're going to send you
I'll
these
keep you
videos so
accountable.
you... Exactly.
I'll send you a clip. Hey, look at the
Look,
clip.
this is what I said. I cannot take my word back.
Hey guys, I know that you guys gotta go get some brunch. I haven't eaten either. So
Are you
Thank
trying
you
to
for
say you
being
want to
here.
come to the brunch?
it's only women.
It's true. It's true.
But I could go. But if you guys mind, if you guys don't mind,
If you guys invite me, I can go.
We'll
We are
have
doing
our
the
very
invitation
own
here in the
brunch.
video too. So everything is here. Evidence of everything.
I'm so hungry. Like
You can
Gotta
come.
go eat.
I heard a few stomachs kind of like growing. Like
It wasn't mine.
It was
I drank
probably
the
mine.
A. Very good. Next time that you come to the podcast, please ask for coffee. Really, really good.
it's Colombian coffee, by the way. So
Saying.
thank you for being in the podcast, guys. If you love this podcast, again, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave us a review. Leave us a 5 stars.
Yes.
If it's a 4-star, tell us why. But hey, if I don't know who you are, but I'll find you. Nah, just give us a review that takes only for about 60 seconds. Share this with your circle, with the friends, the community, family. And if you loved it, go and check out the other episodes too, because we brought up diamond type of players, and love having these two girls here. It was amazing. Like,
Hey, thank you so much. We had a lot of fun. So yeah, go watch the other episodes.
let's get it. Bye bye.
Day